Good afternoon, everyone. Taking a little bit of time this afternoon to have a look inside this solid-state motor speed control model KBWC15K, which operates at 5 amps, 120 volts. This actually is the old one. I've replaced this in my furnace because this controls the fan motor speed. And well, the fan wasn't reliably starting when it got called, and this seemed to be the problem. So I'm curious to have a look inside and to see whether I can see anything. I've sort of packed it up like the new one because I didn't use any of this stuff. We'll save those. And we'll save the knob since that looks to be a 1/4 inch. There's the thing itself. This one's all dusty from being installed in the furnace for more than 20 years. We've got the installation instructions. Showing how it's operated. This looks to be just like a triac dimmer. And the version that I have is this one. This original one has no earth wire. And well, I probably could have run this earth into the ground properly. I've got to say, I didn't. And just am counting on the frame to ground it. We'll see inside whether that was a good decision or not. I may go back and ground it. So I do think the wire was long enough to reach the earth terminal if need be. So let's see what we've got. We have what looks like plastic tabs holding the front on. There's no screw. This also looks to be tabs. So you have, this is a potentiometer with a switch on it, like every radio. Sounds pretty bad actually. And comes around. That's the speed control. There's a trimmer to set the minimum speed. I haven't touched that, and I don't suspect this was touched on this one either. Oh, these look like, so it looks like you snap this off and then this turns to release that. Well, let's find a screwdriver and see if we can pop these off. We don't care if this is destructive. The other thing that could possibly be wrong with it would be the start-run capacitor on the motor. But I don't think so for a couple of reasons, including because I gave this a shot of the old contact cleaner, and it actually got it working reliably for some time. Oops. Broken off one of the tabs. Oops. So what have we got? We have an inductor, presumably, a ganged potentiometer with a switch on the back. Here's the switch. 6 amps, 125 volts. They're not overrating it. This thing, after all, was only rated to 5 amps. This looks to be an inductor. That's the trimmer for the minimum speed here. And there's the triac. And we've got a couple of capacitors and some resistors. And that's it. Not obvious what might or might not be toasted on this. There does appear to be some heat in the, this is the switch side, presumably. The switch is usually on the back, and yeah, there's the pot there. But it looks like there's been some heat in the switch. You can see the paper on the back of the switch is all checkered, and there's some scorching on the back of that. And if you listen, here, I'll hold it up to the mic. So I think what failed on this, probably when I sprayed contact cleaner, and I probably got some into the switch. But I think what's failed on this is the switch. Not that that's something you hardly ever use, but that seems to be where the heat's coming from, not the pot. You can see even the heat has gone down into this terminal, which is the hot one, comes down here, and you can see it's discolored the circuit board down there. The triac, can I read that? Let's see, is an A70083. And it's using the front of the case, like most of these do, as the heatsink, right? Mounted directly on that. Yeah, so, you know, some suppression stuff with the capacitors here and the inductor, but it's the switch that seems to have been the problem. I'm going to get some contact cleaner and give that a good spray. I have broken a tab off, but I do think I could get this back together. It was always nice to have a spare about. Let me do that. Okay, I'm back, and I'm just going to spray all the contact cleaner I can into, try to get it into this bottom switch. Sounding better already. I would not put this back into service, but I will, as opposed to rob it for parts, I will. Not that there's anything except the pot really of interest here. I might be curious about this inductor. It's weird though. It's soldered across. Okay, so that's one side of the triac. Where's the center? Yeah, so this is the center. This is, I got a diode here. Huh. Anyway. Anyway, that's that. Not very complicated. It's just a dimmer, nothing more. Possibly with a little bit more interference suppression on it. Certainly this explains some of my interference problems in the summer when the air conditioner is running more often. Anyway, I hope that was interesting. I don't think I'm going to bother to try to work out the whole schematic, but it's an interesting device. It works, I guess, for its intended purpose. I hope that was interesting. Have a good afternoon.